Good morning, good people, and welcome to Hot 97 News. This is a brand new live news show where we talk about all the biggest stories across the country. It is Monday, February 9th. I'm your host, Lana Harris, here with Rondell with 2 N's and Million.
Hey.
All right, another week.
Getting
into it.
Come on,
You know
Monday. I'm excited about Monday.
Yes, sir. A lot went on this weekend.
Did.
A lot to talk about, but it is still Black History Month.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Amen.
So, I thought we were going to get that.
There you go.
There we go. So here is Rondell with 2 N's with your 1 minute of Black excellence.
Yes, 1 minute of Black excellence. I love this part of the day. All right, today we have Robert Smalls. Robert Smalls was an enslaved man who stole a Confederate warship in 1862, sailed it past enemy forts using their own hand signals. That just lets you know that you need to change your passwords regularly. Then he went on to free his family and others and delivered the ship to the Union. He later became a U.S. congressman and helped rewrite South Carolina's Constitution. Okay, wow. I feel like Robert Smalls has dropped. If he dropped a mixtape back like right now, it would be called "From Enslaved to Elected." All right, that's what I feel like, man. And that has been your 1 minute of Black excellence.
Let's go.
Power to the people.
That's dope. He stole a boat. That's super hard.
That is tough. That is tough. He used hand signals to get past them.
Yeah, like sign language and stuff, bro.
Okay.
which is wild, huh?
He said,
Clever, bro.
I think you do that on the third game signs, but y'all
bad.
get it.
Y'all get it.
Okay, first and foremost, we got to talk about the Super Bowl. Did you actually watch the game?
Yes, I did. It was
Did
boring as all get out.
I actually realized that I was looking down for the game and looking back up for the commercials and the halftime show, and then I would look back down and keep working.
Absolutely boring.
Yeah.
The most boring thing I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah, I'm glad the Patriots lost. At one point, I was one of the biggest supporters only because of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they lost because Bill Belichick never got that Hall of Fame inductee thing.
Oh, he didn't?
Yeah, he has 8 Super Bowl rings, never got inducted into the Hall of Fame yet. They actually skipped over him this year. Right.
Wow, I did not know that.
Right. Yeah. So how you gonna give the best coach ever? How you gonna skip over the best coach ever? I think they was thinking because Tom Brady got a ring without him, and then the Patriots is in the Super Bowl without him. But I'm glad they lost.
Me too.
You can't do it without Bill Belichick, baby.
Yeah. Well, you forget the Patriots. Forget Bill Belichick. Forget Tom Brady. We will never forget what y'all did to us. So I am absolutely incredibly happy that y'all lost.
More importantly, the Super Bowl halftime show was great, if you ask me. It was wholesome. I know the streets were saying like, he's going to come out in a dress and he's going to make this whole thing some liberal, LGBTQ focused event. That's what the concerns were. And it was just nice. It wasn't anything.
Yeah, Kid Rock was crazy.
Whoa, what?
Not talking about Kid Rock.
That's the Super Bowl performance we talk about, right?
That is crazy.
Not talking about Kid Rock.
He came on the show today to troll. I respect it. He came on here to troll. Good job, my brother. Kid Rock. That is wild. No, I thought it was good too. I thought that I think everybody was like, I know a lot of black people were complaining that they didn't know what he was saying. But listen, we had 5 months. Y'all had 5 months to learn Spanish, okay? Y'all had 5 months. I don't know why. I don't know Spanish. I didn't know what he was saying either. I admit it. I didn't know it, but it was a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It was a vibe.
And that's my concern because, sometimes there's a halftime performer and you don't know their songs anyway.
Exactly.
Whether it's in Russian, English, Spanish, or whatever it is. So why are you going to act like, just because you don't know his songs, he's not speaking in English, it really matters. Sometimes you are just vibing. His songs are in the club all the time. Nobody cares. Nobody's like, hey, he's not speaking English, is he?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that was just dramatic for no reason.
It was a vibe. I like how he had the people get married. It was the whole thing was dope.
Yeah.
The whole thing was dope.
Nah, the visuals was spectacular. I will say that. One of the best visuals I've ever seen. Did y'all see the bushes moving?
Yeah.
Like the bushes was actual people moving around in the crowd. That thing was really clever. I liked how he climbed up a telephone pole or an electric pole. He did go crazy with it.
It was very intricate, and there were some cameos. I don't know if you missed them, but in one of the scenes, dancing there with I guess the rest of the dancers around them were several, I would imagine, Hispanic actors or artists that you know and love. I mean, Pedro Pascal was there. You can see Cardi B there. You can see Jessica Alba there.
Jessica Alba, where has she been at?
She still looks good too.
So, dude, where has she been at? Oh, it's bad.
But you know who hated it? Of course, the president of the United States. He thought it was terrible. He hopped on Truth Social expeditiously and said the Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible. One of the worst ever. He said it makes no sense. It is an affront to the greatness of America and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the United States of America.
That's interesting.
I think that's very dramatic.
You find dancing disgusting for the children, but you don't find.
Ooh.
Oh,
Well,
we're not gonna talk about that, are we? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Did I press a button? I'm sorry. My bad. He found the dancing disgusting for children, but don't find other things disgusting.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying,
We
brother.
pick up what you're putting down.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying.
You're making too much sense right now. Dale. You're making too much sense right now, Dale.
So other people decided to watch Turning Point USA's version of a halftime show, and that's what had Kid Rock as the headliner. And I mean, I haven't heard a Kid Rock song in I don't know how long, and I don't think he did either because he was lip syncing the whole time.
He was.
Badly. You could very
terrible.
clearly tell.
It was terrible, but I will say one of the best intros to a performance I have ever seen before. Like, it was just so magical. Like, he said,
"What?
Kid Rock!" And as he's singing it, the flag drops right behind him. Sparks start flying, and then the beat drops. I was like, oh, he went crazy, bro. I just respect the art, bro. I just respect the art.
Okay.
People are so easily entertained. What's that flag drop?
Yo, I'm telling you, it was so, I don't know. It was so effortless. It seems so cool. If the lip syncing was actually like syncing,
yeah,
I feel like he would have been like top 10 performances of all time.
Top 10 performances of all time?
What? The bar is low.
I will say, all right. I'm exaggerating a little bit too much. Top 10 best Super Bowl performances of all time.
Top 10 best Super Bowl?
Still no.
What? What? Did you say top 10, though?
Wow, the
Top
bar
10.
is low.
I mean, he went crazy, bro. Call it what you want.
You know what? To your defense, you're young, so you didn't see all the other performances, okay? You didn't see the Michael Jacksons. You didn't see the Justin Timberlake.
Up there.
You didn't see the Justin Timberlake and Janet Jacksons. Yeah. You saw the Kendrick Lamar. You know what I mean? So you didn't see, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other performances out there that top Kid Rock.
All he had was pyrotechnics. He had like some fire shootout. He had some sparks, but that was it. This man, Bad Bunny, brought out grass.
Yeah, that was moving
real grass.
Somebody got married.
Scenes.
Real live and married.
Lady Gaga popped out.
Come on, Ricky Martin?
Boy.
When the last time you seen Ricky Martin?
I don't know who Ricky Martin is.
That's your problem right
that's
there.
That's the problem. That's part of the problem. Kid Rock. Now, I'm sure Turning Point USA felt like they did what they came to do because they did get like 4 or 5 million viewers on that. People thought they had more, but it appeared as if they put bots to get those view counts up.
Definitely.
Little sus.
Definitely.
But you know, it's overall, I don't know why this got so much hype because we got bigger problems. I mean, like the Super Bowl is like
very low, bro. And then everybody kept saying, "Oh, we need to bring back a real." What did Trump say? Bring back real halftime shows or something like that. Bring back all American shows, aka bring back the white people on the shows. And there's the thing, man. Ain't gonna happen. I hate to bring it's too much culture out here now. Jay-Z runs the Super Bowl. Sorry. Sorry.
And honestly, Puerto Rico, it is America. Like they are American. They're Puerto Rican, but like they're part of the United States of America. So it's like, what are we talking about here? I don't know. I mean, if we want to have said, you know, our whole country's life long that we're a melting pot and everybody's welcome and we don't discriminate, you know, that's what we say. We had the Statue of Liberty fact just a couple, days ago. Oh, we don't discriminate. Slavery's over and we welcome everybody. Then what's the problem?
What is the problem?
What's the problem?
I will say I didn't like the fact that I had to like use subtitles when watching. I just wasn't the biggest fan. Like, I'm American. This is an American game. This is one of the biggest sports in America, but biggest events in America. I would have liked to at least know something that he was saying. I did appreciate Lady Gaga.
That is something that is heard. I hear you.
No,
I hear
you don't, Lana.
I hear you. I hear you. At the same time, Bad Bunny plays in clubs all over America. He played, like, it's not like you took some artist that nobody knows and put him on stage in America. He is a major artist here in our country. And I think like now, like out of nowhere, people are just acting like they haven't listened to Bad Bunny.
Like all of a sudden.
Like this is, how many Grammys has he won?
A ton. And
yeah.
You can't keep up with reading the subtitles? Ain't you the one that said you go to the library?
I do. I do.
So
you're right.
So
but
wait,
what
so
I'm
you
saying
didn't want?
is
So
I also just don't feel like I was vibing to the music. Also, it's like I don't know. I feel like the set design was way more better than the actual music that he was playing, the actual performance, and that's why I said Kid Rock is top 10. Kid Rock is top 10.
Let me just give you these numbers real quick. Bad Bunny had 135 million, by the way, views. The most watched Super Bowl halftime show of all time.
Right.
He's topped
I didn't know
everybody.
That. Wow.
Yeah.
Topped everybody. You can't. Numbers don't lie. Numbers.
Platforms. Come on now. That's different because it's a platform versus platform. And mind you, I'm not trying to compare Kid Rock versus Bad Bunny.
Okay. As long as you're not doing that.
Actually, I just looked it up. How many Grammys do you think Bad Bunny has?
I don't know, like 10, 30.
Okay, hold on. Let me look it up. How many Grammys has
10 to 30 is crazy, right?
He's gotten a total of 6 Grammy Awards.
Oh wow, I was
He
way
just
off.
had 3.
How many do you think Kid Rock has?
None.
Approximately.
None. Yeah,
0.
Kid Rock has
I'm
no
not worried
Grammys.
about that.
0.
Bro, I'm not trying to make an argument for Kid Rock. All I'm saying was that intro was crazy. Watch the intro and y'all tell me if I'm crazy.
Okay, so if Bad Bunny had Kid Rock's intro, would you have liked Bad Bunny's performance?
I did like Bad Bunny's performance. It just wasn't topping Kid Rock's at the time. Dang.
All right.
I just like Kid Rock's.
You're right.
The whole Turning Point USA, they folded. I think it was really boring. But when Kid Rock came out, I got to give him kudos.
Kid Rock, you got a fan.
You got one fan. You got one of us.
You got him.
Okay, but like it does open up a wider conversation about just the fact that a lot of people don't like what's going on in this country one way or another. And even some people on our Team USA at the Olympics were called anti-American for what they said about the climate here in the U.S. right now. So these are U.S. freestyle skiers that were talking about representing the United States ahead of opening ceremony, and they were asked about wearing the American flag. So you had Hunter Hess, who's a first-time Olympian actually, on halfpipe, said that it brings up mixed emotions to represent the United States right now because he says that there's just a lot going on that he's not the biggest fan of, and wearing the flag doesn't mean he's necessarily endorsing everything that we got going on here in the United States. It's kind of for him about representing just, his family, his friends, and the positive things that he believes in about this country. You also had Chris Lillis, who was an Olympic medalist, say he loves the United States, that he would not want to represent any other country, but that he is still heartbroken about what's happening here. And he felt like the country should respect everybody's rights and treat all people with love and respect. And he said that he basically hopes that that is the America that's seen through the athletes there and what they're doing. So what do y'all think about that?
I think it's a hard discussion when you're going through these Olympic villages,
yeah,
and you're having to talk to these other countries, and these other countries are coming up to USA and probably looking at us like, oh my God, we hate y'all, bro.
Yeah.
We hate y'all so much. And then y'all have to defend.
Yeah.
You have to be the one to defend, like, hey, it's not all of us. It's not me. I don't rock with ICE. I didn't want to, do anything that he got going on. That's a hard thing to probably have to do when you're in the Olympics, because when you go to any other country and you're representing USA.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yes, I am a United States of American. I'm a citizen. Yes, I love United States. But dog, I don't like what they're doing. And I agree with y'all. Like, yes, you probably look at it as a terrible thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I would love to be a fly on the wall as they walk into some of those situations. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I agree with him. I definitely agree with him. If I was in the Olympics, I would wear the colors proudly, but still like I don't, to be totally honest with you, I don't really know how black people do the Olympics like that for the United States, to be honest. I mean, that's just me being honest. Like when all that stuff be going down, when the police were killing, hey dog, that's hard.
So what did you make of it?
I feel like, it's okay to criticize your government.
Yeah.
I kind of feel skeptical when you're criticizing your government on a global scale. You're criticizing it in front of other people, other companies. Like, when you have business at home and you want to keep your home business. You don't want to talk too negatively about your home, your house. And then when you go out in public, you're supposed to be representing us at that. Talking negatively about it is kind of shaky. But I mean, like I said, I love the fact that people have their own minds. You can be an American and love America completely and then criticize America at the same time. I just think it was a better time to do that. But hey, it is what it is.
I hear you. And you're so right. Like, honestly, what is more American than being able to criticize our government? You know what I mean? Like, some countries, you can't. So, even if you don't like what they said, I do respect the fact that they could say it. But like you said, they're also in a climate where they're probably having to explain a couple of things, because it's not like what's going on here is just like within the United States and nobody else knows about it. People were actually protesting outside of the Olympics, and it was in part because of ICE. So people in Italy know what's going on here, and they were also making their voices heard about this. Now, it wasn't just ICE. They were also upset about just the environmental impact of the Olympics and the cost of the Olympics. People say it's just too expensive, and just the scale of spending for this just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, they were also saying, they didn't want ICE there. ICE was brought there to help basically run security in some kind of way. And I really don't understand that, because ICE is immigration enforcement. In Italy, you're the immigrant. So what are y'all just kicking yourselves out? Like, that doesn't even why are y'all there?
So
I didn't get it.
That's so real.
But yeah, so there were upwards of like 10,000 people at one of those protests, with people described as being either men, women, students, families with children. I mean, it just was like a mixed bag of them. So it is interesting when you think about having to go to the Olympics and see all these people from different countries and explain what your country is up to. Matter of fact, JD Vance got booed at the Olympics. So it's not just people here in the United States who are kind of critical of what's going on right now. JD Vance was booed at the Winter Olympics with his wife, who is standing right beside him, which, she really is just like, hold on, wait a minute. I don't want smoke like this. But it happened when they were in like opening ceremony. Just a camera had panned over to them, and everybody just started booing. I won't say everybody. Some people were noted as cheering. Some people were noted as jeering. But there was apparently a very audible boo. A chorus of boos is how it was described, in fact. And I thought it was even more interesting that apparently NBC cut that out of the broadcast. Now, NBC has exclusive rights to film everything Olympics. So since they cut it out, a lot of people here may not have seen it, because they cut the broadcast when that boo situation was happening. And even the announcers were saying, audible boos here for JD Vance. So they cut that and just played it to where it said JD Vance. And obviously people could see on social media what really happened, because Canada and literally anybody outside of the United States would have aired it as it happened. And so it is interesting when you think about how censorship happens just like that.
I mean, it's censorship, but at the same time, again, this is our house. Whether we like it or not, this is where we stay at. We don't agree with some of the things, that's fine. But at the same time, it's like, we're not gonna put it out there that we getting booed around the whole entire country. That just makes us look bad as a whole. We got to stick beside our own. At the end of the day, he's one of the people that's running the house. We got to kind of stick beside him, unless we're ready to get up out the house. Unless y'all ready to get up out of here, we got to support him. Show some support on a global standpoint, at least.
Well, these were people who were at the Olympics booing. These weren't like America. In fact, the Team USA was not booed. They cheered when Team USA came out, but then when it cut to JD Vance, he was booed.
Right.
So it wasn't the United States that was shown in a bad light. It was kind of him and by extension, his policies.
Well, I was just talking about NBC in general. If I'm NBC,
I see what you're saying.
I wouldn't even put that out there, because again, it's like we got to represent our country in a good light.
But as a news organization, it's kind of your job to tell people what happened, not to tell them what you want or like what looks the best. That's literally, that's propaganda, honestly. Like if I see that and I say, man, JD Vance didn't deserve that. I love what JD Vance is doing. That sucks. I wonder why people on a world stage are booing him. That's strange. In fact, Trump was asked about it, and this is what Trump had to say.
The president got booed during the opening ceremony. What do you make of that frosty?
No, is that true? Is that right?
Yeah.
It's surprising because people like him. Well, he is in a foreign country, in all fairness, but he doesn't get booed in this country.
Vice President got booed during the opening ceremony.
What do you that was interesting, because that actually acknowledged that it even happened. If NBC didn't air it and you only saw it on NBC, you would have no clue what he was talking about. You know what I mean? The president is the one who validated it for me, because online you never know who's lying. That's what my concern with NBC was. You just straight up censored. Us.
Yeah, have y'all ever been booed before?
No.
Let me explain something to y'all. Getting booed is the worst feeling.
I bet.
I've been doing stand-up for almost 17 years. I've been booed a few times. Let me tell you, you don't want to live anymore after you get booed. I'm trying to tell you that. Getting booed will make you feel like my life doesn't mean nothing. I'm trying to tell you, bro. So, JD Vance, I feel for you.
Yeah.
Getting booed is the worst feeling ever, bro. Just imagine you thinking people like you and you just a sea of boo. Boy, that hurts your heart so bad.
Your wife is standing beside you.
Oh, dog,
Kids gotta see it.
Bruh, I done been booed with I had brought a girl to a show one time and got booed off stage and had to ride home with her. That was a silent ride home. I never talked to that girl ever again after that, bro. I hope you see this, though, because I made it.
Was she supportive or was it just quiet?
Was she supportive? No, she wasn't supportive, dog. No, we didn't talk at all in the car.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, bro, getting booed is the worst.
But I mean, what do we expect as Americans? You know, we know that like I say all the time, we're number one. That comes with haters. So
for sure.
People was gonna hate. He should have known. Everybody should have known. That's not something I wouldn't expect. If Donald Trump was there, he'd probably get him booed too.
Oh, straight up.
But like historically, that doesn't really happen. Like it's not like the U.S. just always gets booed because we've always been number one. This is like unique, I would say. In fact, he got booed twice. There was reporting that he was booed again the next day while leaving a U.S. versus Finland women's hockey game. Yeah. There were also 4 athletes representing Israel who were booed when they walked out there during the opening ceremony. So you're kind of seeing the ramifications of some of these decisions that have been made. And, you know, to kind of everyone's point who's felt bad for those athletes, they don't have any choice in what their government is doing any more than we do, any more than anybody out there is doing. That's why if you are going to boo, I'm glad it was actually to one of the decision makers, even though, you know, the Olympics committee was like, you know, let's not boo. Let's just kind of keep it nice here. But it is interesting when you think about politics entering it, because remember we were talking about the Russians. The Russians weren't even allowed to claim Russia. Right. They literally had to go on as like independent athletes who were just separate from a nation just to be able to compete. And they had to, you know, say that they don't support the war in Russia and completely separate themselves. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, it's super interesting because they weren't able to do it because of violations in the Olympic charter, in the Olympics charter, violation of peace and human right dignity principles that they have. They have politicization of like sports. So like Russia was politicizing the sport, and then violation of peace, that goes without saying. I always thought that it's weird that, you know, Russia was able to, Russia is barred from actually being in the Olympics, but Israel is able to be there in general still too.
It is kind of a double standard,
right? Because
you kind of see parallels between what's happening with both countries. We all saw tens of thousands of Palestinians get, killed in a country, and that you can't unsee that. You can't unknow that when a country, shows up to go compete in some games, and they weren't made to separate from Israel the way the Russians were made to separate, and Russia's been accused of taking a lot of lives in Ukraine as well. So, yeah, man, it's weird. It is weird.
It is weird. I mean, just looking at their rules, the charter explicitly commits the Olympic movement to peaceful coexistence and respect for human dignity. So they're saying Russia crossed that line. Israel didn't. I'm just saying, it's just something to look at. The fact that they're able to have athletes there was like mind-boggling to me.
Yeah. I mean, I know that Israel would probably say theirs was more retaliation. Like they had a terrorist attack first, and so they were just getting revenge in a situation where they were allowed to defend themselves. But how far does that go when you're talking about tens of thousands of people and, wiping a whole city off the map, reducing it to rubble? I don't know, So something to follow if you are still watching the Olympics. It's still going on. Also, and I know this is going to run us into the next half hour because there's a lot to be said about this. There have been a few updates in the Nancy Guthrie case that a lot of people did not see coming. So Nancy Guthrie, of course, is NBC News anchor Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mom. She was abducted from her home about a week ago, and Savannah Guthrie and her siblings just left another message on Instagram. And here's what they said.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Okay, I'm not. You know what? It looked like I can't do it no more. I can't.
No, please.
Bro.
Please.
What can't you do? That's a strong family right there,
Man.
That obviously they cry off of the camera like so much that when they do, they get all their tears off camera, and then when they do come on to camera, they're like really strong and together. You know, that's so beautiful. I mean, I love the fact that that they're able to do that.
I ain't playing with y'all today.
What? They're a strong family.
I'm not playing with y'all today.
Listen, if you want to get into the opinions section of this, it is a situation that now has a lot of people scratching their heads.
Exactly.
A lot of people wonder how they would act and what they would say and what they would do and how they would look if they were, to be going on camera and talking about their mom who's been abducted and has been gone for a week and needs medication and is probably in pain. Her blood was found at the door. Saying that this is very valuable to us. She's very valuable to us. You know what I mean? Like, just certain things have been a little strange with this case, and we can actually get into all of this in depth when we come back in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to Hot 97 News, everybody. When we left you, we were talking about just some things that people did not see coming with this Nancy Guthrie case. And what I think has been very interesting is that law enforcement has gone back to Nancy Guthrie's house 4 times. 4 times. So they went initially, of course, when she was first reported missing. And then a couple nights later, on February 4th, FBI went back to the house using canines. And then on February 6th, on Friday, investigators went back to the house to look at the surrounding areas, and they towed a car, they removed a camera. And then on Sunday, they went back to the house and they went behind the house for about 20 minutes. And they weren't just revisits. They were doing completely different operations. Like, they didn't just process it and move on like normal. Like, they kept going back and doing different things.
Almost like they're stacking up evidence, maybe?
I actually just looked into it because I didn't know if this was normal or not. And this says that usually investigators would do one major processing of a scene and then only go back if new evidence or leads require it. It's less common, not unheard of, but less common to return multiple times over several days with different purposes.
Interesting, y'all. We might be seeing something unfold here. This is a good story. I mean, not over, it's just interesting.
This is fishy.
It's interesting.
This is very fishy. A lot of things are going on that I can't answer, and that's what's making me mad because it's so much blurry stuff right now. It's just blurry. Look, I'm not here to say this person did it or that person did it or this is that. I'm not here to give my theory on what's going on. That's not what I'm here to do. But what I am here to do is say that a lot of this looks out of place. A lot of these things that are happening do look out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? A lot of things that the family is doing looks a little out of the ordinary. And I could be totally wrong. And, God forbid I am, you know what I mean? But it just looks out of place. That's all I'm saying. I'm not here to shun the family, say that they did it or say that they didn't do it. That's not what I'm here to do. That's not my job. I'm not no police officer. I don't know nothing. It just all I'm saying is what I see.
Well, in a strange twist, investigators did go to the sister's house. So this is Savannah Guthrie's sister, which would be the victim, Nancy's daughter, Annie. They went to Annie's house, and multiple outlets reported that they were there for like 2 hours, more than 2 hours. And that's a home that's just 4 miles away from where Nancy lives. Apparently, they moved items like a white suitcase and a brown bag, and they haven't said why they were there.
We're on to you.
Or are they
whoever you is?
Yeah,
we're on to you. Yeah.
And it's a situation where there's multiple cameras that were at the house, no video. So there was a doorbell camera that was disconnected around 1:47 in the morning. That was a key window, according to investigators. The system then reportedly logged a person or motion alert around 2:12, but officials said no usable videos. Outlets also reported the doorbell mount appeared empty as if it were removed, which, adds another layer of why don't you have the video then? I mean, because I would then see you walking up and taking the video camera off, presumably. And so apparently they say that She wasn't paying for that subscription service to keep the video. So they caught something, but they don't have any footage.
Where is Inspector Gadget when we need him? Good God. I mean, geez, Louise, it's so much going on that it's almost distracting what's really probably going on within this whole thing. Like, it's so much, like, she's over here and it's a lot going on that we really don't know. And I it's not even that I want answers. I just want the mom to be found. Where,
exactly.
Like, that's where I'm at with it right now. Regardless of who did it, why they did it, I just want the mom to be found.
This poor woman.
Bruh, what? Like, what?
Yeah, when you think about it, it is just fishy how, like, the perpetrator was able to know about the mom. Like, nobody typically, like, I'm not doing no research. If I have some gripes with Savannah, the star of
the NBC newscast,
NBC News, if I had gripes with her, you would think that somebody would do something to her, maybe her children. I'm not necessarily saying I'm going for the mother. And then finding out information, like, you would have to be really, like, close to the scene almost to know where somebody's mom is staying.
Almost like In the Family, almost.
Almost. It's giving Scooby-Doo, bro.
Yes, they're giving very Scooby-Doo.
Well, okay, so there was an expert that was talking about this on Fox News, actually. So I just kind of tuned into the report. This is a retired NYPD sergeant who says that this case does not resemble a typical ransom kidnapping at all. He was saying, like, if getting money was the motive, why would you target an older woman? That brings all sorts of concerns for you about just health issues and having to keep them alive if they're taking medication you didn't grab. Like, you've now given yourself an extra thing to worry about as you're trying to just get money. He says that the level of media attention surrounding the case is also very abnormal because kidnappings typically rely on anonymity. Like, you wouldn't want this much attention. This isn't like a TV show.
No.
In real life, it doesn't go down like this.
That's so real, bro. That is so real.
So he says, especially a news reporter at NBC where it's going to be major news, and then to send a thing to TMZ on top of it's kind of just overkill, according to this guy, Ken, who's a retired NYPD sergeant. And then just the fact that a ransom scheme in general requires a lot of planning and technical capabilities here. So you'd have to have a strong VPN with a strong signal. And then if you're contacting them through Bitcoin wallets, you have to know how all that stuff works. So it can't just be some rando because, they're tracking us all the time. You know what I mean? You say, I like oranges, and suddenly you're getting like orange ads. You know what I mean? They're clearly tracking us and have the capabilities. So the fact that like they've been able to get away with this for over a week.
Yeah. I don't know. It definitely throws me off because I'm looking at it right now. It says that Nancy was a Christian Bible teacher. She didn't have much money. If there's somebody that's, you're going for money, you're targeting for money, it's like, I'm not going to target the mom. I guess they're assuming that, Nancy actually does have the money.
No,
but Savannah has money, but that's, again, it's still fishy.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, they're reportedly asking for, I've seen numbers as much as $5 to $6 million in Bitcoin. So, I mean, they are thinking they have something.
This is what really made me like my head start spinning and my wheels start moving is when they asked for $2,500 for the for the help
information.
Yeah. So that made me think like, man, they probably sat around a table, started talking, and were like, whoever this was like, hey, how much money do they usually ask for? How much money is $2,500 enough? Do you think should we go higher? Or is 25? That's what got my wheels turning. Like, hey man, they ain't never done this before. Whoever is this is their first time doing this, so they don't know what they're doing. So yeah, man, it's a lot. Like, once again, no three of us, uno, dos, tres. We not saying nobody did it.
Exactly.
We don't know nothing. All we saying is this is a little bit fishy and it's a little bit suspicious. It don't seem right. That's all we saying.
And some people are starting to say, and who knows if it is or if it isn't, but just some people are at least noting that this is taking a lot of attention away from the Epstein files. And we now know that lawmakers are about to get to see unredacted versions of the Epstein files. They're going to get to pour through 3 million pages of the released documents starting today. So there's been a lot of names we've seen in those emails that have been redacted, and people have been like, why are we redacting who he was emailing? Like, are we exposing them or are we not? And so lawmakers are going to have to give the DOJ at least a 24 hours notice before reviewing the materials, and only they can review it, not their staffers. They can review those files on DOJ computers in Washington, but they can't make any electronic copies. In fact, they can't even bring any electronics in. They can just take notes. But I think that's great.
Yeah, I think it's great too. I especially think it's great because before they actually go into the Epstein, the subpoena that they have out with Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, they'll actually have information. I don't know if they could ask them the information that they have, but I would hope that they're able to be like, okay, so this name was here. What do you feel about that? Like, we found this once it was unredacted. I wonder if they'll be able to use that to question the Clintons when it's time for them to come on stand.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Because we know that Hillary and Bill Clinton are both saying, like, yeah, we want smoke. In fact, Hillary posted something on X first, and she was saying, hey, for 6 months, we engaged Republicans on the Oversight Committee in good faith. We told them what we know under oath. They ignored all of it. They moved the goalpost and turned accountability into an exercise in distraction. So let's stop these games. If you want this fight, Representative James Comer, let's have it in public. You love to talk about transparency. There's nothing more transparent than a public hearing, cameras on. We will be there. So she says that, and then Bill Clinton hops on the mic, meaning on X, and he says, I have called for the full release of the Epstein files. I provided a sworn statement of what I know, and just this week, I've agreed to appear in person before the committee. It's still not enough for Republicans on the House Oversight Committee. So now Chairman Comer says he wants cameras, but only behind closed doors. Who benefits from this? Not the victims. Who deserve the justice here? Not the public. Who deserve the truth here? It serves only partisan interests. This is not fact-finding. It is politics, and I will not sit idly as they use me as a prop in a closed-door kangaroo court by a Republican Party running scared. He says if they want answers, let's stop the games and do this the right way. Public hearing where the American people can see for themselves what this is really about.
Okay, Bill. Now listen. Now look, I ain't gonna hold you. That was strong word. But this could be all the Uno card. A reverse. Like, hey, I'm gonna reverse it so all the eyes are not on me no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This could be a reverse. But Bill, them some big words, big dog.
Yeah.
Some big words, big dog.
I was personally it's funny you say Uno because I was looking at it as poker.
Okay.
You know how when you play poker, sometimes you have to bluff. I think I right now what I'm seeing with the Clintons is it's a bluff. They know that they don't want to put out certain information to the public because it could mess up the whole entire system.
For sure.
So they're like, okay, so if you really want a subpoena, if y'all really are about that life, put it out to the public. But we know good and gosh darn well
They're not gonna
they
do
don't
it.
want that to happen.
Nah.
They don't want that to happen.
That's that reverse right there.
Yeah.
Especially to your point, if they can go and look at redacted files and then come up in there with
Right.
pointed questions.
Right.
So what is this about? Because y'all know last time they already had that picture of him in the blue dress.
Yeah.
And you know they were waiting to be like, so what is this in reference
Exactly.
to?
Right.
Why does he have this of you? Did you
Right.
see this in his living room? Were you okay with it being there? You know they had all their questions prepared.
Yeah, Bill
So-
did his big one with that one, bro.
Yeah.
That was. I don't know who's in your corner talking to you, bro, but that was a bold move, a smart move at that. Because dog, you just reversed it on him.
Yeah.
Show them files. If I'm getting in trouble, everybody getting in trouble. But
That's the thing that scares me though. It's like, okay, so what will the public actually do if we find out that, because we already found out a lot of information that could put a lot of people away. Like you would think. Why is the public not in an uproar about this yet? Like I'm saying, like full on riots, full on people, destroying buildings. I'm not calling action to it, but we know that the elites are doing very bad things. How much is it going to take for us, the little people, to rebel?
mm-hmm.
I don't know, man, because it does seem like it's clear that powerful, very influential people in governments and just beyond are involved in some very weird, if not illegal-ish.
Right.
And it's like, bro, nobody's going down. Matter of fact, Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend, is testifying today. She was the one who was convicted of child sex trafficking for her role in Epstein's crimes back in 2021. child sex trafficking to who? Because y'all keep saying nobody's going to jail. You haven't found anything, so why is that lady in jail? She needs to be there. Everybody's just pretending like, oh, we don't have anybody to go after anymore. So she's testifying before a congressional committee today, and her lawyer is already letting y'all know right now she plans to plead the fifth.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's what they said.
Wow.
So lawmakers were hoping that this could finally answer some of the biggest unanswered questions. Cough, cough, who the clients were. Cough, cough, name them. They're accused of raping and abusing women and girls. You know what I mean? And who ordered her prison transfer? That lady got moved to a minimum security prison where a whistleblower claims right now she has gotten to play with puppies. She gets hand-delivered custom meals to her cell and takes meetings in a private room with snacks for her guests.
Wow.
In prison for child sex trafficking. Now, Nobody wants to be upset about that. Nobody think that's a little weird?
Like, because she got that, she got all this information on folks. I think she got too much information on folks. And it's like, that's what I'd be thinking.
No,
that's what I think.
You're right. But again, it's like, what do we even keep on fighting for, people? Like, if we are fighting for these files to get released, like, we have more than enough things out there. Like, at this point, it's like, how much more do we need to actually do something about it? To actually get something popping? Because this is crazy to me.
I don't know. I mean, but she is going to be doing her appearance from her prison where she's living lavishly. So she's just going to appear remotely. She's not even going to get drug in there. And News Nation is reporting that Congress should expect little beyond a brief prepared statement. Why is this allowed?
Dang, she pleading the fifth too is crazy.
And I'm letting y'all know.
Yeah,
I'm about to plead the fifth.
I'm not saying nothing.
I saw that the Clintons could get on when they actually do go for the subpoena. They could possibly do the same thing also. They don't necessarily have to answer the questions because it's not a criminal case at all. Like, no charges are brought upon them.
But you can't pop off in a tweet like that and then get up there and plead the fifth.
Oh yeah, you got to stand.
Know what I mean?
You have to stand 10 toes on that one, bro.
Who wants to put money down that they gonna do it? I guarantee you they gonna do it. They're probably I see them talking big. They're trying to scare Congress into doing this, but it's like they know good and gosh darn well they don't want to go down for this. They know they could go down for this.
Bill and Hillary Clinton have been saying that this is a witch hunt, that they know nothing, that they're not a part of this, that, the times that Bill's name is all up and down in those files is just, it's not any more sketchy than Trump's name being in there more than, a lot of the big names that we've been hearing about. So if Trump gets to skirt along and still be the president of the United States, what are we talking about here? Clearly the rest of us are also probably fine and just totally innocent. And that's what the FBI has said. Everybody's totally innocent here. Nothing to see here. So yeah, Ghislaine Maxwell's probably sitting there like, why am I in jail? And I'm curious what Bill and Hillary Clinton are going to get up there and say. And if they say just a bunch of like, we know nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I don't know Epstein like that. It's like
They folded. Yeah, they would.
Because you just big popping in them X posts.
Yeah, they would have folded. I gotta lose respect for them if they get up there and don't really pop their stuff, bro. Like,
I want y'all to name names.
Yeah. They need to. Also, I was thinking about this the other day, man. They arrested Diddy and R. Kelly real quick. You know what I mean? They got them up out of here real fast. Like, it's taking them so long to get these people up out of here.
Right.
It's taking them so long to get these people up out of here, bro. Like, and that's the really upsetting part about this. Is like, hey, man, it's clear as day now. Everything is here. Let's start logging them up.
Yeah.
Log them up. Log them up.
Because essentially what they're saying is the files that actually have been found and the research and the tons of investigating that actually happened by the FBI was just unwarranted. It was just BS. Like, there was no reason why it was put out there. Like, so you're telling me that the FBI stacked up all this evidence for nothing?
Yeah.
Like, they can stack up all this evidence against somebody and it could still not be true? That is so backwards to me.
It didn't implicate anybody.
Right.
You got millions of files and nobody.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody looks a little fishy to you.
Yeah.
That's why it would be interesting if Bill and Hillary Clinton get up there and say, look, we don't know anything, but I, wink, wink, would look into this person. Because even if you were just around Jeffrey Epstein, that doesn't necessarily mean you were involved in anything, but you might have seen some things. Right. You might have been able to be asked a pointed question and say, well, here's where I would look. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
In the meantime, there was an immigrant that was reportedly beaten so badly he ended up with a fractured skull. And I said, yeah, he ran into a wall.
He ran into a wall.
That's what I said. He claims that he was beaten by ICE agents so badly he had a fractured skull, and they said, yeah, he ran into a wall.
Repeatedly.
They ran into a wall.
Obviously, he ran into a wall repeatedly.
So here's what happened. There's a man, his name is Alberto Castaneda. And he says that his memory was jumbled, actually, after getting beaten by immigration officers to the point that he initially couldn't remember he had a daughter, couldn't remember, like, memories with his daughter, and it was really bad. He says he does remember, though, what happened. He says ICE agents were pulling him over, actually, from a friend's car, and that happened on January 8th. It happened in Minnesota. He claims that ICE threw him to the ground, handcuffed him, punched him, and struck him in the head with a steel baton, dragged him into an SUV, took him to a detention facility where he says he was beaten again. And then he says he was taken to the emergency room and was told he had 8 skull fractures and 5 life-threatening brain hemorrhages.
Sheesh.
Oh, my God.
But he ran into a wall. So the nurses hear that line that he ran into a wall, and they were like, yeah, that's like, there's literally no way that's a thing. The CT scan showed fractures to the front, back, and both sides of his skull. So
he just did a 360 of head hits.
Just bobbing around? What are we talking about here?
Just going this the whole time.
Yeah.
He ran into a corner, y'all. He got
it just
and then rolled.
he ran into a corner and did that.
Ricocheted his head back and forth a few times.
We can't say what actually happened, but a doctor told the AP at least that these injuries were inconsistent with a fall. And he's saying he didn't bang his head into the wall. So, it's stories like these that have the people saying ICE could use a little use of force training.
Yeah, they definitely can. They definitely can.
Especially because apparently I looked into this and those steel batons can be used to hit the arms, legs, and body, but hitting someone's head or neck or spine is considered potentially deadly force. So that's something that you can only do if you literally think your life is in danger. It's like akin to using a gun.
Mm-hmm. Is that deadly? Good God.
But steel baton, I guess. Yeah. I think they use that to like bust car windows open. It's like if you.
I thought it was a hollow piece of steel, but it's like full steel.
I guess so.
Let me look this up real quick.
I don't know what like the make is, but yeah, man. And so this man technically was in the country illegally. Apparently, he originally entered the U.S. legally in March 2022, but then ICE later determined that he overstayed his visa. So he wasn't technically legally in the United States at the time he was arrested, but it wasn't a situation where he snuck in here. And in fact, I'd have to look up to see how many years that temporary visa was good for, years or months.
Yeah.
But, I wonder if we're talking about a year gap, 2-year gap, month gap. I'm getting the paperwork together. I don't know, but it is,
So I just looked this up.
The situation.
I just looked this up. So police batons, and I'm pretty sure ICE was probably using the same batons. There's 2 different kinds. There's one that's a hollow steel. Those are the expandable ones that the ones that do like that. Mm-hmm. And then you have the old school straight batons, the nightsticks. I'm guessing those are the solid ones. So, it is a possibility that either or hurt. Getting hit in the head by steel, anything hurts.
That's crazy.
Can't believe they tried to play it like my man ran into a wall, though, bro. What in the world? What are we talking about? Ran into a wall, dog?
How?
What are we talking about?
How could you run into a wall but you fracture your skull? You know what I mean? If I was trying to, how much force? You'd have to have a running start at that point. How?
It's a running and jumping. They got to run and jump into it. They jump into it.
It's not funny. It's just so absurd.
It's not funny, but it is wild, though, brother. That's the claim that they're making, that he just fractured his skull by, like, running into a wall. You could have said anything. Maybe slamming your head in the door, like, doing one of those, but running into a wall?
8 skull fractures.
It doesn't surprise me after seeing how they did Alex Preddy. They basically tried to spin the narrative with him when he first got shot at. You know? It's this government is definitely like disappointing me.
Those officials claimed it was a brick wall.
A brick wall.
So it at least
sound like, what that sound like? I don't know if y'all have ever heard the stories of the dudes that be cheating with the hickeys on their neck and be like, girl, how you get that hickey on your neck? Oh, I got shot by a paintball. No, you didn't. Somebody was sucking on your neck. Somebody was sucking on. That's what it sound like. Yeah, how you get the fractures on your skull? Yeah, I ran into a wall multiple times. No, you didn't. No, you did.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Also today, okay. This is actually something that we've been kind of floating around and trying to bring to you guys for days now. If you don't know, Melania Trump has a documentary that she just released. It opened in theaters, and it actually got Michelle Obama's documentary up 13,000%.
Yeah, it was crazy. So Melania dropped this story, her background story, and it was talking about her early life before entering the U.S. and before entering politics. In it, she talks about like her life inside the White House and her role as First Lady and all types of things. So initially when it came out, it received 5% on Rotten Tomatoes. It received 5% on Rotten Tomatoes. And like Lana said earlier, the percentages during the time of the release for Becoming by Michelle Obama, a story talking about Michelle Obama and her time as First Lady, shot through the roof. Becoming's Rotten Tomatoes score is 93%. So compare the two. Which I think people has chose, who they like more.
It is interesting because, like, I would feel so disrespected. In fact, y'all are so disrespectful for doing this. This lady drops a documentary and y'all run to Michelle Obama's documentary to get those numbers up instead. That is crazy. I think this is partly Melania's fault because you don't ever hear from that lady.
Never.
That lady does not pop up for anything.
Right.
She's got about like 2-3 things that like she kind of has to be there for, the Christmas decoration. And she's like done like 4 or 5 things I've seen her. Like she had some effort with like social media and kids, but really she's never talked to y'all.
Never.
So when you say, oh, I'm about to drop a documentary, like, do you guys want to watch? Do you talk to me?
Yeah.
Like, you don't talk to me.
Right. And a lot of people didn't really watch. So they spent about $40 million just to make the movie. Guess how much they earned during the release?
How much?
$7 million.
$7 million?
$7 million.
You know what? I actually heard it was a lot lower, so I'm surprised that it got up.
$7 million in its opening weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, but apparently it's the strongest documentary that has been released in over a decade. So I guess she gets a W with
According
that.
to who?
Yeah, because I've seen some documentaries that are way better than that, man. What? In a decade? In a decade?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's 10 years.
But released in theaters, though. That's basically what they're saying. Documentaries released in theaters that actually got that amount of it.
Yeah, of course.
Well, what's the competition?
I was literally about to say that.
Right.
What documentary's been released in theaters in the past 10 years? All on Netflix, bro. But yeah, of course you're going to win that. Like, what was she? I would like to know what she was talking about in that documentary, or what was her struggles.
I do too.
Let's go watch it.
No, I'm
Let's
okay.
go show some support.
No, I'm good.
I'm actually curious too. You're not curious?
Give me back the clip notes. Bring me
I
the
might
clip
go
notes.
watch it just to see what it's about. Like, what are you talking about, girl?
Right.
I'll wait till it gets on Prime.
Yeah, her audience.
I'm not gonna buy a ticket. Yeah.
Guess what? Just picture what her audience is. What do you think that her audience looks like?
A bunch of nerdy white dudes.
I think older white women.
Sit behind
Older
a
white
computer.
women. Yeah. So the initial age range for the people that attended was 55, and there were white women.
Really?
Yeah, 55.
Because you'd want to know.
Women.
Because I was talking to somebody else about this, and they said like basically for a certain demographic, like older white women, Melania is like winning. She is the first lady. She's be in charge of the country. She's rich. She's in these glamorous places. She, has like, there's no higher position a woman can have, really. So, good on her. But that is going to do it for this part of the show. We have a lot of Atlanta stories coming at you after the break.